I made a big mistake in my last coding video. Is left is more than one. This is the phrase you're going to be met with, you know, guess again and how many guesses left. But if the guesses left equals 1, oh, I guess this just could be an else. Oh yeah, we don't need this to be an elif. Oh my goodness, look at this. Don't do it. Don't do it, Void. There's a problem that you don't even recognize that you're walking right into. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Becoming an Indie Game Dev. I've been going through the Python book, Invent Your Own Games with Python, and that's where I started in my last episode. We started up in chapter 3. So if you're not caught up, you might want to. If not, hang tight and we'll go over some fun stuff today. So in my last video, I created this program and I expanded upon it from chapter 3. And what we watched in the intro was me thinking I was being bright in a moment of swift genius during my last video to simplify my code even further. But I missed something very important that thankfully one of you guys, one of my commenters, caught. And so hats off to Alistar for catching something. So essentially the previous program was about guessing a random number that would be made by the program, and then having different lines of dialogue depending on how many guesses you had left. Some of you already might catch where this else is going now, but the point was so that once you get below this many guesses left, there would be a different dialogue that would pop up to really notify that you're on the last guess that you have. Let's watch what happens here. Guesses left, no. We'll say J. 7, 6, 5, 4, 5. Make it count. 98. Boom. Awesome. It worked, but there's still a very big problem, and something I completely ruined by creating that else statement and getting rid of the elif. If you'll notice, you'll see here, it says you have 0 guesses left. Make it count. It's saying make it count twice now because the else is running no matter what. So, problem. That is the exact not thing I wanted to do, thinking I was simplifying my code, and we have to thank Alistar here for the heads up. This is why I'm doing this. I appreciate you guys watching and giving instant feedback. He says, hey, first of all, really nice video. Can't wait to see your progress in this journey. Thank you. I've noticed that you've got a little bug and the timestamp with the guesses left equals 0. The message gets printed. You got guesses left, make it count. In case you were putting suggestions, they basically just said, hey, put the code back in that you deleted, dummy. So that's what we did. We put it back in. Adding the else will make the loop break when guesses left are 0 or less, and we'll continue with the your guesses left message. So you can see here we have restored the elif condition so that we can have this extra line of code. Else the program breaks and it goes down to these other lines of code here, and that's exactly what we needed. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I thought I was being smart, so I thought I was being cheeky. But thank you guys for catching me on mistake. I've learned to oversimplify sometimes is a problem. Actually, it'll bite you in the butt. Something else I did to the code was I was playing around with things, and I had the total guesses down here to 1. To, you know, make things more easy for testing. But when I did that, there wasn't really a good dialogue for it, so I put a check in here now. So if the total guesses is greater than 1, then it will tell you how many guesses you have and to take your first guess. But if the game only gives you 1 guess, then we go right to this. You only have 1 chance to get it right. Make it count. Because we're not going to hit this line, because we are already at 1 guess left, essentially. So it's going to go here, it's going to be the guess or it's not, then it's going to break, and it's going to come down here to see if you got it or not. There was one other thing that I did want to add to this. When you run this program, you can not enter a name. And I didn't like that. Well, thankfully, to another one of you guys commenting on the video, I greatly appreciate it. Safe to turn comments. Hi, when you're looking for the problem at 7 minutes, you would need to check if the input is not empty before converting it to an integer. So before you do int guess, you could add a line that checks if the guess is an empty string, essentially. So that is a good way to basically say, is this null? So here we've entered an empty string and the program runs, but that's not exactly what we want to do. Let's play the game anyway, just to load. Oh, let's actually try and get this. Oh, it's too high. So it's 5. Good job, nobody. You got my number in 5 guesses. So the game works how we would like it to, but I would like to add a check for null, which interestingly enough is something that we found in the next chapter, which is what today is about. They are checking against an empty string. So once I moved on to the next chapter here, the chapter 5, Dragon Realm, in the code, we go through a flow chart. First time we're doing flow charts. It's fun. This is actually fun. I think there's actually some really cool stuff that we're going to look at today in this one that I found interesting. But right here in this function for setting the cave, they're setting it to an empty string. So if I just moved on to the next chapter, I would have seen that we were working with empty strings, and I could do the null check over here. But thankfully, you guys are also watching and participating. This is fun. Thank you. So before we alter this code, let's just run this program so you guys can see what this is all about. Essentially, another game making you go through caves here. It's all like a text-based. It's kind of like those old school, text-based option games, which is fun. You can make a whole game just like this. So you are in a land full of dragons in front of you. You see 2 caves. In one cave, the dragon is friendly and will share his treasures with you. The other dragon is greedy and hungry and will eat you on sight. I also just realized that I have Roku playing up in the background the whole time. Gotta love that Roku TV up in the back. So, which cave will you go into? Let's go into 1. You approach the cave. It is dark and spooky. A large dragon jumps out in front of you, its jaws open, and gobbles you in 1 bite. Do you want to play again? Yes or no? Well, let's enter yes or no. So let's enter yes. Oh, but whoopsie, the program breaks. And this was a bug for me. And I did not finish my session that day understanding what it was. And now, unfortunately, because the debugger is in the next chapter, I don't know how to debug yet in Python, and so it's horrible. Coding in Python is horrible without debugging. The whole program is supposed to take this and ask if you want to play, and then you say yes or no, and then it takes the input, and then it goes back through all these functions we've set up. So let's look at the program. Let's see what's going on here. Now, some of you already spotted the issue, and we'll get there because it's very simple and I couldn't believe it. And right before I started recording, I actually found it. So this program is a lot different from the previous program. Over here, we have a lot of variables that we're setting up front, where over here, we're setting up functions. And so following this code can be somewhat tricky. And I came up with an idea to help me better think about where we're going and what code we're jumping into. Because one thing I've learned from this lesson is it's extremely important to know where your start of your program is, where that first line, that first execution actually is. So on this program right here, it is right here, because this is the first thing we're actually doing in the program, is we are storing this into play again, and then we're jumping into this while loop. So all of this is just set up of functions. While play again equals yes, or play again equals y, so it's something we type in when we get the input here from the player. We are going to display the intro, so that's this wall of text here that we read at the beginning, and then we are going to store what this function, choose cave, returns into cave number. And this is where things, for me, got tricky as I've been brushing off some of the dust. Local variables, they only exist while they're inside the function. So here we have the cave with the empty string that we're looking to use over here. While this cave variable does not equal 1 and it does not equal 2, we're going to print which cave will you go into, 1 or 2. So that's here where we were right here. And then we get that input, and then we return that cave. So that's what this does. This function just returns the value that we input after this prompt. So we're going to take choose cave. We're going to store it in cave number. So we're taking the cave return from here and storing it in here. And so there's kind of like a, you know, it snakes around, because then we're using this value from here in this parameter for this last function that's been set up to determine whether or not we entered a friendly cave or not. And something that kind of helped me was thinking about local variables as lit matches. And the goal is to carry that fire on and not let it die out. Because if we just use this here, this cave only lives as long as this function processes. So once we're done processing this, the cave is done. We're no longer using anything here. This variable is dead. It's a match that has been lit, and now it is burned out if we don't do anything with it. But we are storing that value. We're passing that lit match onward to another local variable, where over here we're setting up a ton of global variables that exist during the entirety of the program's life. And so local variables can get a little bit more tricky in that you might have to find out and hunt down where they are, or think a little bit harder about how you're passing them or where they're going, essentially. How you're keeping that flame alive to continue using it and manipulating it. So that helped me a whole lot, and I hope that helps you. I'm curious what kind of things you guys think of when thinking about local variables, or little tricks in your head, or maybe imagery that you see. I know some of you can't imagine a lit match in your head. I don't know what that's called. So I guess it would be a very curious, thing would be to find out how you guys keep things in your head. How do you see things? Someone, I know one of you knows what I'm talking about. You can comment below. But I'm imagining a lit match, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So finally, we take this value that we have gotten from this function that we have made, and we're passing it into check cave. So in the program, in the chapter, friendly cave is another variable we're creating, where we are storing this random integer, which we have worked with before over here when generating the number that we have to guess. Now we're just picking, it's either going to be a 1 or 2. But we're also turning it into a string. And now this is actually different from how the program had it. They had this lower. They had this here. And they had this string thing right here. And I didn't like that, so I changed it. For me, I like having variables at the top. It makes it very easy to find. I don't have to go digging into this function to see, what's in here. I can pretty much know what we're doing. Once I look up here, I would say, oh, this is what these are the tools we're using, this is what's going on, this is what we're manipulating. They had it down here, which seemed like a strange place, but I get it, because this is how it happens actually, chronologically. It goes through the text here. We're using this time sleep to pause for 2 seconds to create that intense drama. And then it generates the number. And then we do the check to see if we entered a friendly cave. So if, chosen cave, which again this is not a, what's that term? I know it's something, it's like a, so this is a parameter that we're passing in, but this parameter essentially is like a local parameter, right? Because we've not set this up anywhere, So how is this a variable if we haven't declared it anywhere? We haven't established it. Because again, what we're passing in is cave number, not chosen cave. But there's a term for this, and I am blanking because that's how long I've been out of college. This is basically just a placeholder saying this could be A. It could be this, just as long as this is also A down here. But we're just saying we're taking whatever we're passing in again, which was cave number, into the function. And then we are checking that cave number that we got from here, Again, we're passing that fire along all the way into this final moment where we use it and we check if this cave number we entered equals the friendly cave random number that was generated. Now again, this is just a personal preference for me. Let me clean this up a little bit. And let me just have the variable up here. And then let's actually turn this into a string right here. So this is already a string. It's already converted. It's already done. Boom, bop, bam. Now all we have to do is put friendly cave here. We don't have to say string We don't have to convert it while we're doing the if statement. It just makes it cleaner in my mind and how I see things. But that's my style of coding, I guess. So then the friendly cave, if it checks out, if it equals it, then we are getting the treasure. Else, the only other option is that we get gobbled up. So that's where we see that we got gobbled up. And then it goes down to ask us if we want to play again. And we entered yes, but the program broke. So if you have not figured it out by now, this is where the program broke. And oh my goodness, sometimes you just forget some parentheses. And then that is it. It literally, well, I was checking all my variables, all the names. I was like, it doesn't tell me if there's a variable that's not established or not in use. Oh, look, and then we have yes or no. So let's do yes, and then it does it again. Let's go to room 1. We actually went into cave 12, so we're definitely going to die. No matter what, cadets, we are dead. We shot ourselves in the foot on that one. So now if we hit enter, the program closes. So now it's functioning, so yay, we figured it out. So I'm doing this again before we jump into Godot. Which I have some updates about that I need to make before I end this video. Don't let me forget. But we're not done here. Let's go back over to our first program and see if we can put a null check in front. Because when we run this, you can currently not put a name. And I don't want that. I want you to have to put a name in here. So when I ask for the my name equals input, let's check if the input is empty. And the way we'll do that to keep running the program is, I'm assuming we're going to be using a while loop, just like this right here. So while my name. Oh, you know what we could do? All right, now I'm literally coding in real time. I'm trying to think. I was almost thinking we could do this. We could have another variable like name equals and store this in here, because we're gonna loop back around, right? But let's make it not empty. I'm already seeing that this is going to be a problem, I'm pretty sure, because then if we did name here, while name, hold on, let's move this down here, and hopefully this magnification thing works better for you guys so you can see everything that's going on. My name, we're gonna get the input. All right, so while my name is not empty. Let's see. So far, so good. At least that's what it looks like to me. And then name equals my name. Something like this. Is that the answer? Is something like this the answer, or is it more like this? Yeah, actually, this is the code we want to look at down here, because we have an input here. All right, so play again is set to a string, but let's do this. So here's the problem. To start, I can't even talk and code at the same time. I cannot talk and code at the same time. See, here's like essentially the problem, right? So while my name does not equal empty string, get the input. That's as simple as we need to make it. However, so basically what will happen is we will hit enter. Wait, hold on. No, that's not correct. Oh, wait, hold on. It's just this. Okay, yes. Oh my gosh, I think we have it. While loops mess my brain up so much. Okay, so we're storing the my name right here as an empty string. And in fact, let's clean stuff up and put it up here with the other variables. So it's an empty string. So while my name is an empty string, run my name input. I feel like there could be another thing to check, would be to, if someone does enter an empty string, we print something else that says, you know, you can't have no name, essentially. Sorry, all of you no names out there. I feel like this, yes, should be can't move stuff easily. In here. Yes, hello, what is your name? I may have just created an infinite loop that is going to break everything, but let's find out. Hello, what is your name? All right, here we go, cadets, the moment of truth. It works! Look at that, it works. Well, let's toss a name in here. Hats off to all of you. We did it, cadets. We made it through. Let's jump into a room. Oh, wait, no. Oh, I'm playing the wrong game. I'm playing the wrong game. Oh, our last guess. Here it is. Make it count. What are we feeling? What are we feeling? Give me a number. Give me a number, cadets. 14? Someone said 14. Ah, it was too high. Guys, it was 10. It was 10. Well, that does it for today's episode of becoming an indie game dev, starting with Python before moving into Godot. We're refreshing the brain that has been dormant from college. I have to make an announcement. So I said, you know, what's today? It is May 31st. My goodness. I said that in June, I would be starting a game jam for myself in Godot using ideas that I was going to get from you guys. And guess what? It got here way faster than I was expecting because it's summertime and I go to the shore in the summer on the weekends. So I had less time to actually be coding and doing things along with work and all of the rest of life. But I don't want to fall through on that promise. I am going to start some kind of a game jam. I'm going to stream sometime this week. This is a promise. You all keep me to this promise if you're this long in the video, which by the way, I appreciate you. If you found this video fun or helpful at all, leaving a like or comment would greatly help me out. You can also support the channel with Patreon. There's links below, or just becoming a channel member. We're going to stream and we're going to do something this month of June. By the time this video comes out, it will be June. And we're going to see. It might be a tiny game. It might be a text-based game, but you know, you have to set boundaries, cadets, and you have to set goals, and you have to knock them down. You have to knock them down. So with that being said, that's really it for today. I don't want this video to be too long. I really just need to get through the rest of this book so I can be really, really refreshed as much as possible before just jumping into Godot. But we're going to be doing both at the same time. Why not? You know, we'll start small, and this will just make me have to get stuff done. So thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed everything. Until next time, keep those chins high, and eyes to the skies, cadets. Peace out. Nice shooting, Jakey. Nice shooting.